Bangladesh, meanwhile, is relocating 1 lakh Rohingya refugees. They are being moved to new facilities at the Bhashan Char Island. A report by the local press describes the new site as a quote-unquote better home for the Rohingyas. It will have amenities of a higher standard, buildings for the Rohingyas to live in, with hospitals, community clinics and a police station. Here's a ground report by WION's Lakmina, Jesmin, Soma.
Until 2 years ago, Bhashan Char was covered in a shroud of grass and mangrove trees. But now the desolate area has taken a new look altogether, with buildings painted pink. The island, which emerged in the Bay of Bengal in 2002, has been developed as an eco-friendly human habitat to relocate nearly 1 lakh Rohingyas to relieve the overcrowded mainland camps in Cox's Bazar, where around 1 million took shelter after fleeing a military crackdown in Myanmar in 2017. On a visit to Bhashan Char, it was observed that the project had been implemented around the concept of cluster villages to house more than 1 lakh Rohingyas. The Bangladesh Navy was given the responsibility to implement the project. 2 British companies worked as consultants for onshore and offshore activities. The project was executed at a cost of about 3,100 crore takas. All the buildings have been constructed 4 feet above the ground, and every cluster has 12 houses with 16 rooms and a 4-story steel structure shelter station. There are 1,440 rooms and 120 shelter stations in 120 cluster villages. Every room can accommodate 4 people. In case of any calamity, 860 people can stay at the shelter stations, which can withstand cyclones with speeds of about 260 kilometers an hour.
Bhashan Char is ready to receive nearly 1 lakh Rohingya refugees, from houses for living, solar panels for electricity, biogas fuel for cooking and waste management, cyclone centers, mobile networks. Everything is available for them. Still, Rohingya refugees are not interested to come here, saying it's a cyclone-prone area. They are concerned that what they will do in any emergency case as it is disconnected from mainland. They are also saying that it will be so difficult for them to communicate with their relatives.
About the island's vulnerability to cyclones, the project director says that the embankment had been constructed after studying history and data of the last 176 years. 12 kilometers of the embankment at a height of 9 feet had already been completed, and work was underway to increase the height to 19 feet.
It's not an isolated island. It's an island like Sandweep and Hatia. If you climb on the roof of this building, you will see Sandweep on one side and Hatia Island on the other. The facilities of the shelter here are more than those of the 2 islands. For example, Sandweep has a shelter center for 4,000 people, whereas the shelter center is for only 1,000 people. Besides, the shelter centers are very close to home. The 12.1 kilometer dam that we have erected has made it easier to face with a number of recent storms, such as Fani, Amphan and Bulbul. Even the water was out of the dam at that time.
2 20-bed hospitals and 4 community clinics have been constructed. There is a police station and a police post on the island. There are 2 playgrounds for the Rohingya children, and there is some space available for playing in every cluster house. There are also places for prayers, burials and markets. Accommodation has been made available for officials of the government, the UN and NGOs. There are also 2 helipads. Trees are in abundance on the island. The scope for earning an income is limited in the existing Rohingya camps in Cox's Bazar. In contrast, there will be various avenues for means of livelihood on Bhashan Char. According to the Bangladesh Navy, the possible ways of earning can be fishing, poultry farming, sheep and cattle rearing, and providing different community services. The Bangladesh Navy has already planted paddy, vegetables and trees there. Despite these developments, due to the objection of the Rohingyas, the relocation process has got stuck, and the government is concerned that this costly infrastructure might fall into disuse and consequent ruin if the relocation does not take place in a year and a half. The UN has emphasized the importance of undertaking an independent and thorough technical and protection assessment of the site, taking into account considerations of safety, sustainability, and protection issues prior to any relocation taking place. The assessment process should include on-site's visit to Bhashan Char. Lakmina, Jesmin, Soma from Bhashan Char for WION World is One.
Thank you for watching Gravitas on WION's YouTube channel. If you want to stay up to date with what's happening around the world, then subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much for watching WION World is One.